everything you need to know on how to become a pro Omen in 5 minutes. First with the basics. Omen's main ability is a smoke ability named Dark Cover. At the start of each round, you start with 2 uses of his smoke, and there's a 35-second recharge timer to gain another smoke once you use your first one. This makes it so you can throw up to 4 or 5 smokes in a round if you time it right. Each smoke has a 15-second duration from when the smoke pops. There's 2 views you can use while throwing smokes, and you can cycle between them by pressing R. The first view shows you a layout of the map where your camera follows the smoke so you can be as precise as possible when placing smokes. The other view has it to where you still see your character and you see where your smoke is going to land based off of the green triangle in the middle of your screen. This green triangle represents where the middle of your smoke is going to land once thrown. If the triangle is red, however, that means that the center of the smoke will stay in place for wherever you throw it. This allows for you to throw some smokes that can be placed inside walls for your own benefit. One interesting thing about Omen smokes is that they are hollow compared to other smokes. This means that anyone can sit inside the smoke and watch people walk into the smoke while being safe. This also means that Omen smokes are a lot easier to push than Brimstone smokes because enemies can sit inside of them and then just explode out. Omen smokes are also a little bit bigger than Brimstone smokes, so they can cover more of a hallway or chokehold than Brim can. One very useful way of throwing Omen smokes is to throw one at the beginning of every round to block off line of sight from the enemies so they don't know where you can be. This is especially useful against angles that may be held by someone using an operator. Pre-round, you should be able to throw a smoke right when the barrier drops. You can also trick out the enemies by throwing a smoke across the map because the enemies have no real clue where you threw it from. Throwing smokes, however, do make a sound, so make sure you're not close to enemies when you throw it or else they might know where you are. Now for Omen's second ability named Paranoia. Paranoia blinds enemies that are in the way of it once it's cast with a huge hitbox. You can see on your map how far and wide the Paranoia is going to be before you throw it as well. Be careful though, because the Paranoia can also hit your teammates and cause the same effects as it would when you hit enemies. While paranoid, enemies lose a lot of their hearing as well as their vision. They can only see about a meter or 2 in front of them when they're hit with Paranoia, and it lasts for around 2 seconds. While Paranoia is being cast, there's a visual warning for people that are in the way that might be hit. This is an indicator on the edges of your screen warning you that you're about to be hit. Paranoia is a pretty good way to stop or scare enemies from pushing into a bomb site you're holding, and is also a good way to aggress onto a bomb site by blinding the enemies holding it. Paranoia also goes through everything in the map. This means that you can throw your Paranoia through walls, boxes, anything, to hit enemies on the other side. Omen's third ability is a small teleport called Shrouded Step. You can see where you're going to teleport by looking on the map and by looking at the green arrow on your screen. This ability allows you to get on top of boxes and high ground to where people don't think you can be. You can also teleport past choke points or angles that enemies might be aiming at. The teleport, however, does make a very loud sound, so enemies know when you're going to teleport if they're within range. There's also a tiny sound from where you land, which enemies don't really hear. Now for Omen's ult. Omen's ult costs 7 ultimate points and allows you to teleport anywhere in the map. Once cast, everybody's map in the game suddenly goes dark and smoky, notifying everybody that used your ult. There's a sound that Omen makes on the location where he's going to teleport. You can see how far the sound is going to go based off of the circle around your mouse cursor while looking at the map. Omen can cancel his ult at any time by pressing the ult button again while teleporting. This makes it so you can cancel it if you feel like you're in danger of being shot at. If you complete the teleport, Omen has to pull out his gun again while being vulnerable, so if an enemy finds you while doing that, you're in trouble. You can try to do evasive maneuvers against the enemy that has you in their sights if you're feeling risky too. One interesting way to use Omen's ult is as a scouting mechanic. Instead of trying to TP into the backlines every time you get Omen ult, you can use it before taking a sight to locate where the enemies are and to call that out to your team. Now here's how to play Omen like a pro. One good thing all Omen players do is pair their abilities. Whether this be their teleport, their smoke, and their blind, they pair all of them together to make great plays. One instance of this is pairing your small teleport with their blind ability. When enemies are hit with Paranoia, they become mostly deaf and blind, so this is your opportunity to use that loud close range teleport that we talked about previously. Enemies cannot hear you teleport when they're hit by Paranoia, so this allows for you to get into places they thought not possible. Another good combination of your abilities is your smoke and your teleport. You can place your smokes anywhere on the map, so one thing you can do is teleport from smoke to smoke being hidden while you do this. You can also combo all 3 abilities as well. One thing I like doing is hiding in the smoke, throwing out my Paranoia, and then teleporting behind the enemies while they can't hear me do it. Another thing a lot of high level Omen players do is fake teleport across angles held by enemies so that they can play with their mind a little bit. Most players can catch on when an Omen teleports because the sound is so loud, it's louder than footsteps. But this also allows you to fake it every once in a while and just teleport to where you're standing. You can do this by just aiming straight down with your teleport. Another big tip when playing Omen is that you should be prioritizing the Phantom over the Vandal. This is in part because the Phantom is a lot easier to spam shots and do smokes, since there's no bullet tracers for the Phantom. This also means that using the Ghost and the Spectre could help out your play a lot too, since those are also both suppressed weapons. One major thing to keep in mind when playing Omen is that you need to help out your teammates more than you think. You can help out your teammates by throwing smokes to them across the map and blinding enemies through walls when they're pushing to an area contested by enemies. Thanks for watching.